All right, hello geometry class. I'm Mr. Martin here. You're once again back in my living room, den, whatever you want to call it, where I have put together a whiteboard, put together a little virtual classroom. Some things I forgot to mention before are obviously my beard. Have not shaved since since school has been closed, and enjoying it right now. But at some point I'll need to shave because it'll drive me nuts. And then also the hat. My hair is a mess. I haven't had the haircut since, and my head's too big to button the hat in the front. So you guys are gonna have to deal with that. But again, email me. Let me know how you guys are doing. Love to hear from you. Love to hear from you all. I know I've been hearing from some of you back and forth, and we've been chatting. But please reach out to my office hours if you ever want to join me for a video chat, or on Wednesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 12. And then on Fridays, if you guys want to check it out, our social workers and behavior specialists are doing some meet and greets or get-togethers, some Google Hangouts. So join them if you get some time too. They got some interesting stuff going on there. So keep an eye on your emails. Keep an eye on your stuff. Keep an eye on that type of stuff. We'll keep you updated on what's going on in regards to those things. Today, or let's start with yesterday, we talked about, or maybe not yesterday for me, yesterday for you guys, as you can see, we're in the same clothes, but we talked about transversal and how when it cuts two lines, it creates different types of angles: alternate exterior, alternate interior, same side exterior, same side interior angles. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what happens when the two lines that it cuts are parallel. Okay, these angles that it creates are a little bit more. We can work with them a little bit more. So here, hold on, put that on the back burner. Before I get to there, we're going to talk about just a little bit, review things. We're going to talk about what vertical angles are, because we kind of need to remember what vertical angles are sometimes to have a refresher to kind of figure out understand some of this stuff. So vertical angles are angles created by two lines or segments crossing, and the angles that are across from each other are called vertical angles. So angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical angles, and they're always equal, or as we see here, I put angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. We use that congruent sign. So angle 1 and 2 are congruent, angle 3 and 4 are congruent. And then we can get into supplementary angles, but let's not do that right now because we're going to move over here and we're going to talk about what a supplementary angle is. All right. So a supplementary angle or supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. 180 degrees is a straight line. So you can see here that this whole thing from here to here is 180 degrees. All right. So that means that this angle here from here to here is part of the 180, and this is another part of the 180. Okay, and those two angles together will give you 180 degrees. All right, so those are two things we want to keep in mind when we're working with this up here. So I'm gonna erase that. We got vertical angles, angles that are across one another when two lines cross, and then supplementary angles, two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Now, how do we know that these two lines are parallel over here? Okay, these two lines, line A and line B. We can see that or line AB and line CD. We can see that they're parallel because they're marked so on here. With these two little lines that match up, just these two lines here, those are like little tick marks. We see tick marks sometimes when we see that sides are congruent. It's like the same thing as a tick mark telling me that those two lines right there are completely parallel. All right, so I have a set of parallel lines, a transversal going through the parallel lines. So we're gonna set something up, or I'm gonna explain how these kind of interior, exterior angles are gonna kind of relate to one another. So let's see. Let's start with my same side exterior angles. Okay, so same side exterior angles. So we have angle, so on the same side of the transversal, so we're either looking left side or right side, and then on the outside. So angle 2 and angle 7. So angle 2 and angle 7 are always going to be supplementary now. Supplementary. Okay, so angle 2 and angle 7, and then also angle 1 and angle 8. Again, supplementary. All right, so same side exterior angles are always going to be supplementary when we're dealing with parallel lines in a transversal. Okay, so we have 2 and 7, 1 and 8. Okay, always going to add up to 180. So I'm just going to put this here, add to 180, okay? And just kind of highlight that piece, okay? Now, we're going to go with same side exterior angles. Sorry, interior angles. I already did exterior. Same side angles. Okay, so my same side interior angles, same side of the transversal, either left side or right side. We're gonna start with the left side and on the inside, so 3 and 6. So we have angle 3 and angle 6. And again, they are always going to be supplementary, okay? Always supplementary. Then we also have angles 4 and 5. Again, this is on the right side of my transversal and on the interior. So angles 4 and angle 5. And I'm just going to put this same thing here. Add to 180 degrees. All right. Those are my same side angles. Now I'm going to start looking at my alternate angles, my alternate interior, my alternate exterior. So I'm going to bring that over here. We're going to talk about alternate interior angles. And we have my alternate on opposite sides of the transversal, but on the inside piece. So we're inside here, alternate could be 4 and 6. Oops, let's get that angle sign there. Angle 4 and angle 6, and then also angle 5 and 3. These angles are going to be congruent. Anytime we have angles on the opposite side of the transversal, on the inside of my figure, then we're going to have, they're going to be congruent. So angle 4 is congruent to angle 6, and angle 5 is congruent to angle 3. So we're going to put always congruent. And let's remember, congruent just means equal to. It's always going to be equal to. And then we have my alternate exterior angles. And if we can kind of see a pattern here, alternate. We kind of see a pattern here. We have same side exterior angles, same side interior angles are both supplementary, okay? My alternate interior angles are always congruent. What about my alternate exterior angles? So I look on opposite sides of the transversal. So, and on the outside, so I have 2 and 8 and 1 and 7. And those are also going to be congruent. 2 and 8. And then angle 2 and 8, and angle 1 and angle 7. 7, I'm going to put congruent. And that just means equal to once again, okay? That's just going to be equal to. So I have my same side angles, exterior or interior, are going to be supplementary. And my alternate angles, either exterior or interior, always going to be congruent. Now, there's just one last piece that we have to go over, and I don't have room on here, so I'm just going to erase this up over here. And we're talking about corresponding angles, okay? We talked about corresponding angles last video in regards to where they lie on the transversal, but let's talk about how they relate to one another now. I think I spelled corresponding wrong in the last video too, so hopefully I'll spell it right here. C-O-R-R-E-S-P-O-N-D-I-N-G, angles. Corresponding angles. We said that if I were to cut my transversal here and take this set of 4 and place it over that set of 4, they would be right in the same spot. So, corresponding angles, when we have when the transversal cuts a parallel line, it creates, the corresponding angles are equal. They'll be congruent. The two angles will be the same. So let's take a look at that. So if I take angle 1, or if I take this and place it right over, angle 1 will correspond with angle 5. So angle 1 and angle 5, okay? And then angle 2 and angle 6. And angle 6. And then angle 3 and angle 7. And then angle 4 and angle 8. Angle 4 and angle 8. And so I'm just going to put over here, always congruent, always congruent, okay? We know that corresponding angles on the transversal or on parallel lines cut by transversal are always congruent, right? So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5, angle 2 is congruent to angle 6, angle 3 is congruent to angle 7, angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. All right. I think that's enough for today. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along with me. If I'm going too fast, pause the video, I guess. But if I'm going too fast, or if I'm confusing you in some way, please reach out. I would love to hear from you. How to make these videos a little bit better, how to make them a little bit more informative for you. Hopefully you're able to see everything that's going up on the board over here. And if you need help with anything, reach out. And always, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how things are going. So, till next time, enjoy yourselves, stay safe out there, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.